Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And for today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing Damien Chazelle's latest film, Babylon. So Babylon came out in the year 2022, nearly the end of the year, and it actually came out in my country just last Wednesday. Yeah, this is the opening weekend. Yeah, I saw it in theaters today, and This movie stars Margot Robbie, Diego Calva, Brad Pitt, Tobey Maguire, Samara Weaving, Phoebe Tonkin, Olivia Wilde, Catherine Waterston, Lee Jun Lee, Lucas Haas, Gene Smart, and many others. And basically, the plot for this film is just simply about the rise and fame of Hollywood and how talking about the history of movies and how it evolved from silent film to films with dialogue, and it also tells pretty much how film business works, like how they handled film business back then. As you know, we got the Manny Torres, played by Diego Calva, who has a dream of working in the movie industry, and he's a producer. And then you got Nelly Leroy, played by Margot Robbie, who's pretty much an actress who was under-recognized at first, but then her first movie got her so much fans. And you got Jack Conrad, who's also an actor, and he was an actor. His movies have been critically panned, with people laughing at his movies, and he wants to improve on them. And of course, this movie also shows that that Hollywood's stars are actually toxic. They do drugs. They have ranchy parties, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's basically everything about Babylon. So yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was already excited for this film because Damien Chazelle is directing it, and yeah, when I first heard of Babylon, I was like, okay, Damien Chazelle movie, cool, but I feel like, but I was like thinking, this is probably gonna be Damien Chazelle's weakest film yet. I mean, and everyone's like putting in as their most anticipated movie of its respective year, and then I mean, the thing is that Google said that this is gonna be 3 hours to 8 minutes. I was like, oh boy, is this gonna be another 3 hour movie, drama movie? I don't. Well, it's Damien Chazelle. But yeah, Damien Chazelle is one of the greatest directors of all time. I mean, he like literally right up there with James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, and Christopher Nolan. Like right up there, and also Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee as well. Should I add? And yeah, Damien Chazelle is amazing. I mean, he's got Whiplash and La La Land. La La Land is his best film, and I know I'm sure you've seen my recent Damien Chazelle movie reviews leading up to Babylon. Now, you may ask me, wait a second, Frozen, didn't you already review Babylon in your quick movie review segment back in December? Well, here's the thing, people. I did not watch this movie properly the first time. I don't want to say too much before I watch it, but I'll just say I watched it online. And the reason why is because I didn't want to wait until February. Like I was like hoping for like a January release at least, but like when I saw like when Babylon Share 2 came out, it was said that Babylon was given a Philippine release date of February 1. I was like, "Huh, really, that's too long." So I was like, you know what, maybe I should watch it online first so I can actually give my thoughts already, and then a- and then I'll still watch it in theaters. And and yeah, so I did a review of it. I loved it. But but I but watching it there is now really felt like the first time, because I'll tell you guys that there were some things that I did not know. Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'll just say, yeah, there were things in the movie that I don't know about. That I actually didn't notice the first time. Like I didn't know that this happened. I didn't know that that happened. With all the details and stuff. So yeah. But yeah. Unfortunately, this movie is critically divisive. This is a controversial movie. Let me ask some. I don't remember seeing a movie as controversial as this since Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Not only is this the most divisive movie of 2022, but probably the most divisive review like I've ever heard. Since Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I mean, people like either say it's disappointing, or it's a masterpiece. And yes, at least I've heard that some like critics call this movie a masterpiece and one of the best movies of 2022. In fact, I saw a few people who put this as their best movie of 2022, and yeah, but even with that, it overall got a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is sad, and 51% audience score. Like no wait, 49% last time I checked actually. And this movie bombed at the box office. Now I know I talked to my brother about this, and my brother was like, it probably bombed because of Avatar: The Way of Water. I mean, yeah, that's possible, and I think that's probably why. Well, actually, I was gonna say why Mario movie, but I think it's just because they weren't really finished with the movie yet, which makes sense. But honestly, you didn't need to push Puss in Boots to September to December. I mean, there's no need for that. I mean, yeah, yeah. I remember saying on Instagram that before, like back then that Puss in Boots got delayed to December to take Puss in Boots to its release date, but it didn't need to do that because September was already perfect for it, and but yeah, I'm already going off topic, so yeah, let's talk about the movie itself. Yeah. So yeah, Babylon is an absolute masterpiece. I think this movie still holds up as a masterpiece. Now, my opinion didn't really change. I didn't think it was better than last time. I didn't like it better, but I didn't like it less. My opinion just stayed the same. But I will say, yeah, this is certainly in my top 10 favorite movies of last year, and for sure. And yeah, I am definitely one of Babylon's defenders. Well, I won't say I wouldn't call myself one of the biggest defenders. Mainly because there are better. I don't think this is like top tier of 2022. Like this is in my top 10 favorite movies of 2022 list, but I'd say it's rather a number 10. Like this movie pretty much just starts the list and then it just goes down all the way to like, and yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, yeah, for the most part, I've always loved these love letter to Hollywood movies. I mean, I always love how directors just make movies showing their love and passion towards movies, their love and passion towards Hollywood. Now, when it comes to me comparing this to other love letter to Hollywood, I gotta be honest with you guys. I actually enjoy this more than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, you heard me right. I enjoyed this more than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, surprisingly, this movie wasn't as inappropriate as I thought it would be. I mean, I actually thought that this movie was going to be one of the most inappropriate movie I've ever saw, and this movie would have surpassed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as the most inappropriate movie I ever saw in theaters. And yes, people, I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in theaters back in 2019. It was the first. It was the first and probably only Quentin Tarantino movie I've ever saw. With I said only with pretty much all the rumors that Quentin Tarantino is going to quit movies, which I hope not. But yeah, but the first 20 minutes of this movie is already filled with like inappropriate stuff. I mean, so many raunchy stuff. Like you got the beginning with the elephant pooping on on a man, like helping assisting Manny, and people who have given Babylon negative reviews have like pretty much brought up this scene in the beginning. I scene with elephant pooping, and it's not bad. I mean, but I just thought it was pretty funny, honestly. And this is coming from someone who hates poop jokes in animated movies. Yeah, that was actually really funny. And as people, this movie is actually really funny. In fact, this is the funniest movie, like one of the funniest movies I've seen in a really long time. I mean, like usually in comedy movies nowadays, I don't really laugh that loud. I mean, I just chuckled. Yes, I did laugh like really loud in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where Burrito was swearing. Like that's my favorite scene in the film, and yeah, because I just love how adulty it is. But like they don't compare to the jokes here. I mean, you got like literally one of Nelly's shooting scenes, and then you got the director being like so hilarious, and he had so funny. And there's another joke that I laughed so. Oh yeah, that joke, like in the beginning where Olivia Wilde's character breaks up with Jack, because Jack is speaking Italian to her, and then she's like, "Oh, our marriage is in trouble," and then you're speaking Italian to me, and if you speak Italian to me, I will divorce you. And then Jack just constantly speaks in Italian. I was laughing really hard at that scene. Yeah, it was just hilarious. And yeah, this movie has so many great scenes, and yeah, of course, well, the dance party scene, it is one of my favorite scenes in the film. I mean, I just really love that, and honestly, that dance scene, during the party, like Nelly's dance scene, that rivals the Wednesday dance scene, the iconic Wednesday dance scene in the Wednesday Netflix series, as the greatest dance scene I've ever seen. Yeah, ever since I saw Wednesday for the first time in Netflix, that dance scene alone, which is already iconic, was my favorite dance scene of all time. But then the dance scene in Babylon rivaled it. And yes, yeah, this movie is just literally nonstop fun. I mean, this movie is literally 3 hours long. This is even longer than Endgame, and this actually felt even longer than Avatar. I bet that the credits roll in this movie later than it did with Avatar: The Way of Water. Yeah, I think it makes sense as to why Avatar: The Way of Water felt shorter, because it's a blockbuster. This one's pretty much 3 hours. The last time a movie felt this long, was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It felt really long, even though I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Um, but here's the thing. Even though, despite how long it felt, I did not want this movie to end. Like, seriously, I, I did not want Babylon to end. I mean, it's just so much fun that I really wanted to keep going and going. Even the slow moments didn't bore me. I mean, I was still able to get invested, because it's mainly because of the characters. I think the characters are just so well written. They're just so fleshed out, and for especially the major characters, I cared about them the most. And yes, now we're gonna get into the performances, and the characters. Yeah, Brad Pitt was marketed to be the main star of this film, the lead actor, for some reason. I remember, because he always gets the first credit, Brad Pitt, and then Margot Robbie, and then Diego Calva. Like, that's always what I see in the lineup. But actually, he's actually a supporting character. Although, even though he's a supporting character, he's literally the funniest scene in the film. Yeah, he's the funniest character in the film. Like, he's just hilarious. Like Brad Pitt acting is on another level. I'm not sure if this is Brad Pitt's best performance. I'd say it's up there with Cliff Booth and the main guy in Inglorious Bastards, as one of Brad Pitt's best performance. And yeah, his jokes are also hilarious for the most part. Like, I was laughing really hard. Especially, I just mentioned the scene where when he speaks Italian to annoy the shit out of his wife, and made his wife go as far as even divorcing him, which is just so hilarious. And yeah, sadly though, if I were to give one nitpick, I'm gonna give it now. The one thing that I would kind of criticize, but rather just a nitpick. They removed the scene that was actually one of the highlights in the trailer for me. Like yeah, it's basically the scene in the trailer. Remember, he was bragging up. He was being arrogant about how he wants to he's gonna be the biggest star in the world, and then he just starts dancing and then falls down in the pool. They actually removed that scene. That was kind of disappointing, because that scene would have been a laugh out loud moment. I was so ready. Okay, let's see the dance, and then he doesn't do it. Why? There was no need to delete that scene. But yeah, that's pretty much my one nitpick with it. But yeah, moving on. The lead actor, Diego Calva, despite Brad Pitt being marketed as the main character, Thankfully, people did not overlook Diego Calva, being the lead character. I really love Manny Torres, his character, like a character who really wants to like chase his dreams. Like he's been chasing his dreams throughout. Like we probably saw him as like this ordinary guy. Like he's just this guy trying to help like a bunch of other people. Like bring an elephant to the party, and like he seemed like a nobody at first. He's just pretty much being the assistant of Jack Conrad, but and he and in his first conversation with Margot Robbie, he said that he wants to be a Hollywood star, and then and then he pretty much continues his dreams throughout. He becomes a producer. Actually, his character, he makes me want to become a producer now. I mean, would I get a producer's job in the future? Well, I don't know. Sadly, I didn't really get to apply for a um producer management. But I did like apply for film and as one of my college course. So if I get into film, then maybe I could be a producer. But even though I am aiming for being a writer, and then you got like one character who I think is um yeah um oh yeah, by the way, speaking of that, like before I get to that one character, I was gonna say, I just want to mention that the themes of chasing your dreams, like how the main character chases his dreams. That's so Damien Chazelle, and I want to add as well. This is literally the most Damien Chazelle of all Damien Chazelle's films, because you literally got everything he's done. Like this movie feels like Damien Chazelle's passion project. This movie takes all of Damien Chazelle's previous work, so like every single element that makes Damien Chazelle well, Damien Chazelle, and puts them all in this movie. I mean, this is a historical movie, as this is pretty much the historical of movie evolution, how it evolved from silent film to talking film to a film with dialogue. And yeah and First Man is a historical film. First Man is a history film, which is pretty much which First Man is Damien Chazelle's previous film before this one. And then you got the theme of chasing your dreams, with which is in both Whiplash and La La Land. Like I may have said that First Man is Damien Chazelle's most different movie, but after seeing this movie, seems like him tackling history is pretty much is already Damien Chazelle's thing. In fact, this makes me like kind of appreciate First Man slightly more, even though I honestly would still rate it a 7 out of 10 because of its problems. But well, I say like kind of on the 7.5 edge, like close to 8, I would say, thankfully. So First Man is probably better than I said, probably better than I said in my review of it. And yes, back to what I was saying about the characters. There's one character that I think people like overlook, that I think is completely overlooked, and I think this character deserves more love, and that is Lady Faizu, whatever, Lady Faizu, yeah, the Chinese magician. And let me tell y'all, this character is pretty much top 3 characters of Babylon. This character is such a badass. This character is a badass. I mean, like, she had this like really insane entrance scene in the beginning of the film, but like she just like walks in as a magician, like with a hat, with really cool. But I love her for saving Nellie's life, because I'm sure you remember like how Nellie like pretty much got bitten by a snake, and she pretty much could have died. Like what Nellie did in that scene was pretty much suicide. But Nellie got bitten by a snake, and then she was dying, and then Lady Fai Zhao saved her by like chopping the snake's head off, actually removing the snake, which was gross, but I was able to handle it, thankfully. She sucked the snake's blood out of it, spit out like harmlessly. I mean harmlessly to herself. She spit out the snake's blood, being perfectly okay, and she pretty much revived her. Yeah, and then they both kissed. Yeah, Lily Fai Zhao is technically a lesbian. If you didn't watch the film, she's technically a lesbian, and Nelly Leroy is a bisexual. Like she banged, because she has Manny Torres and Lady Fai Zhao. So she has a boyfriend and a girlfriend. So yeah, she's technically a bisexual. Thankfully, no one was against the LGBTQ representation this time. I mean, usually people would hate something just because it has same sex kiss, all the BS, those BS reasons to hate something. But this one, thankfully, people ignored it. Thank God for that. And then we got one of my favorite aspects of a film of the film, Toby Maguire. Yes, Toby Maguire was one of the characters I was most excited to see. Now, before the film came out, when people are already started posting their reviews on social media, their first reactions, one person said that Toby Maguire got 10 minutes of screen time. I was like, oh well, that's disappointing. That's disappointing that Tobey Maguire is barely in this with in an entire 3 hour movie. But when you actually watch a movie, you actually get why Tobey Maguire has a lack of screen time. Mainly because his character is a gangster, and Manny Torres came to him for help because well, yeah. Manny Torres came to him for help as he was struggling with plans. So, but then Tommy Maguire took Diego Calva to his underground cave. Which, by the way, there's a scene, there's a major jump scare that scared the shit out of me. That was with the crocodile. It was so quiet, and then suddenly this crocodile just jumps, makes a jump scare, and yeah, that scared me. um and then and then Manny brought fake money apparently, and Tommy Maguire found out, and then Diego Cava accidentally kills Tommy Maguire's assistant. So Tommy Maguire was mad, and pretty much tried to kill him, and then they never saw each other again. So that really makes sense as to why it happened. But that one scene Tommy Maguire is in, I gotta say, Tommy Maguire is literally the male version of Paloma. Yes, I would say Tobey Maguire. He's my second favorite character in the movie. He's literally the Paloma of male characters, because he's still memorable. Usually, characters who appear for 10 minutes will be forgotten, but his character, he's pretty much he had a standout moment, or should I say one of the standout moments of the film. And Yeah, one of the standout moments, and yeah, let me tell you, he is creepy. I mean, even with his smile and makeup on, he really does look like a gangster. And yeah, this is without a doubt the best non-Spider-Man Tobey Maguire role. I mean, yeah, sure. Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire's best performance, and it is his best role. But outside of Marvel, this is Tobey Maguire's best performance. Non superhero performance, I should add, non comic book performance. And then we get to the best actress of the movie, Margot Robbie as Nellie Leroy. Like, she is the best character of the movie, and there is no competition. Yeah, Margot Robbie is literally the star of Babylon for me. Despite Diego Galva being the main character, Margot Robbie is just everything. I mean, Margot Robbie is top 15 favorite actresses of all time. Well, she came close to top 10, but I think there are just 10 actresses I'm more passionate about than her. But Margot Robbie is, yeah, definitely one of the best actresses right now. She has so many great roles. I mean, Harley Quinn, well, except the Suicide Squad 2016, we don't talk about that one. And then you got the Wolf of Wall Street, which for the longest time, the Wolf of Wall Street was Margot Robbie's best performance, and I heard that Wolf of Wall Street was apparently Margot Robbie's debut role. I'm not sure, but there could be another movie before Wolf of Wall Street she was in. If you guys know any movie, let me know down in the comments. But I thought that no one would beat her performance in The Wolf of Wall Street. But then came Babylon. Yes, this is Margot Robbie's best performance she has ever been. Yeah, she was just amazing. She pretty much gave a next level performance, and her performance in this movie is Oscar worthy. yeah, what a shame that she got snubbed at the Oscars for Best Actress. And by the way, I don't blame Ana de Armas getting nominated for Blonde because yeah, a lot of people are also upset that Margot Robbie got snubbed, and they put the blame on Ana de Armas for Blonde. I think I could have like chosen someone else. I don't remember the nominees, but yeah, not her and not like just like anyone could have been like replaced with Margot Robbie, just not Ana de Armas and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. But yeah, Margot Robbie, man, I mean, yeah, her performance is absolutely insane. It's emotional. And yeah, it's pretty much Oscar worthy. Oscar winner worthy. Well, I would have liked her to win, but to me personally, in my Frozen Award, spoiler alert, she's not gonna. She got nominated, but she's not gonna win. So that's all. Um, and then yeah, production design is just amazing. I think this movie has potential to win best production design, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. I mean, I just love it, the production design, and yeah, this movie is pretty much one excess drug trip. You know. And yeah, this movie is pretty much well shot, well directed, and but now let's talk about the my favorite aspect of the whole film, the music. Yeah, I mean, out of everything here, from the writing to the directing to the technical aspects to the performances, the music was the best thing about this whole film for me because, man, I mean, Justin Hurwitz is pretty much one of the great. Justin Hurwitz is one of the greatest composers of all time. He needs to be in more Justin Hurwitz needs to be in more like compose more movies, not just for Damien Chazelle movies as well. But yeah, I mean, ever since Damien Chazelle like composed um like ever since Justin Hurwitz composed Chazelle's movies from Whiplash to now, he just keeps getting better and better and better and better. I mean, and all of them were consistently like phenomenal. I mean, uh, Whiplash what was like amazing. Like I was blown away by that music. And then La La Land was taken to a whole new level. And First Man, I think the score in First Man is absolutely overlooked. Yeah, what a shame. Sorry, what a shame it got snubbed for best original score at the Oscars. Yeah, especially when it won the Golden Globes for best original score. I actually didn't really know about that at first until I saw a clip from the Golden Globes with Jen Ortega presenting Best Original Score, and she pretty much said that First Man won Best Original Score for at the Golden Globes 2019, which I completely forgot about that. But this score right here, one of the greatest scores I have ever heard in my life. Period. Yes, like Voodoo Mama, like the score is just the music, like when I heard that score in theaters, it absolutely gave me goosebumps. It gave me chills down my neck and spine. Like hearing that song, and it really put a smile on my face. And yeah, I just love that song, and it's still stuck in my head to this day. I mean, I could literally play it over and over and over and over again. Any scene that has the Voodoo Mama playing in the background, it is the best part of the film. I mean, which is pretty much a tie between two scenes. Two scenes had the Voodoo Mama like score the music playing. First one is the party scene with the entire dancing with the Margot Robbie dancing, pretty much just stealing the show, and with pretty much everyone else in the party is dancing. And then you got the ending, which a lot of people I know say it is the best scene in the film. uh, that's like basically when we see Manny Torres like watching like singing in the rain, and then it just like the singing, and then it just turns into a montage of all the Hollywood stuff. Yeah, it just turns into a montage of iconic movies from over the years, showing how movies have evolved. Like they showed Ben Hur. They showed I don't remember like every single movie they showed, but I saw Ben Hur. I saw Jurassic Park. I saw a movie from the oh yeah, I saw Tron, which by the way Tron did not deserve to be in the montage in my opinion. I mean, I like Tron. I enjoy Tron, but I do think Tron is a bit overrated in my personal opinion, and I even like Tron Legacy better. And I saw Jurassic Park, I saw The Matrix, and I saw Avatar. Yes, that's right, people. They showed Avatar. Like, seriously, the moment when they showed Avatar in the end montage, I was seriously geeking out. I mean, oh yeah, Terminator 2 as well. They also showed Terminator 2 in the final montage. I mean, and yeah, I think I think it might be one of the best endings of the year. In fact, I think it might be my favorite ending of the year. I mean, I thought that Top Gun Maverick had or Avatar: The Way of Water had the best ending of the year, but Babylon managed to surpass it as the best ending of the year. And yes, people, Babylon has the best score of 2022, no competition. I mean, yes, um, when I saw Babylon for the first time, I was pretty much debating if either this or Avatar: The Way of Water has the best soundtrack of the year. But now I can definitely, absolutely confirm that Babylon has the better score of the year overall. Yeah. So overall, Babylon is an absolute masterpiece. This is this is Damien Chazelle's most ambitious film. This is his passion project, and this is the most Damien Chazelle out of all Damien Chazelle films. This movie is an absolute love letter to Hollywood, and this movie is just brilliant at every single level. And yeah, I absolutely love this movie to death. And yeah, this movie is also like a lot of fun. I did not want to finish this movie, even though I felt the runtime. And yes, this movie is indeed and yeah, this well, it's not as good as Whiplash and La La Land in my personal opinion, but it is way better than First Man. I mean, this movie pretty much brought Damien Chazelle back on track because this movie is a massive major improvement over First Man. Yeah. I do not get the critical ban for this movie. I don't get why critics gave this movie a low rating. I mean, this movie is a masterpiece in every single way possible. And yes, people, please go support Babylon. Please watch. If you haven't seen Babylon yet, please watch it. Please support it. It definitely deserves all your support. And yes, people, this movie was snubbed for Best Picture. What a shame this movie got snubbed. This movie should have been nominated for Best Picture, in my opinion. I mean, um, especially when they nominated a controversial movie from last year for Best Picture, which is Don't Look Up, which honestly that movie is not very good. One of the most disappointing movies of last year. So yeah, I know I may sound like with all the praise I may sound like that this movie like would be higher up on my best movies of 2022 list. Well, I could tell maybe this movie could get better the more I rewatch it, but I should be rewatch it more times. Yeah. So with that said, I'm gonna give Babylon a 10 out of 10. So also for my long in-depth review of Babylon, this is technically a reader review because I did a review of this and my quick movie reviews, but this one I definitely got in depth. So yeah, what is your opinion of Babylon? Do you agree with me that this movie is an underrated masterpiece, or do you think that this movie is underwhelming and you find this to be Damien Chazelle's weakest film? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my Frozen Awards 2023, the continuation of it. Bye, guys.